Alright, today we're going to make a sauce anglaise. A sauce anglaise is an egg custard. From that sauce anglaise we're going to make some bavaroise. A bavaroise is actually French for Bavarian cream, yeah? Where we actually use the egg custard as a base. We flavor the egg custard, some with chocolate, some with vanilla. Then we're going to add some gelatin to it, which I will talk about it later. We allow it to cool it down. We fold in fresh whipped cream, and we will pour it into various different molds. First thing I have to do here is I have the milk. Into the milk I'm going to put the sugar, which has been weighed up. One recipe stands for 600 mils of milk to 200 grams of sugar. That could be less sugar, depending on what flavoring I use. I have to add gelatin to our bavaroise. The gelatin is a setting agent. It's made from animal proteins, normally made from bones and so on. The amount of gelatin you add to any dessert, for that matter, is determined by what you're going to do with it. Normally you try to keep the gelatin to an absolute minimum. Yeah? In this case here, I have 6 leaves per one recipe. I put the gelatin in cold water. I normally don't soak the gelatin until I need it. The moment I'm going to make one with vanilla. Vanilla is made from an orchid. It's actually the pod of an orchid. There is some vanilla powder. This is liquid vanilla here. Put into here. And in a second mixing bowl here, I'm going to put some high quality chocolate, which we call couverture. It's actually Swiss chocolate, this one here. Put that in here. The warmth of the custard will actually melt this chocolate like that. Yeah? And I also have got ready here a strainer with a clean mixing bowl. Reason for that, when you make a sauce anglaise or an egg custard, when you have it over the stove, by the time the sauce anglaise is ready, it's set enough. It has to be taken off the heat, put to a strainer immediately. Yeah? If you don't do that, if your custard is at the right stage, you then leave it on a bench and go and look for a strainer. When you come back, your custard would be overcooked. You would have scrambled eggs. Yeah. Alright, the milk has come to the boil. I added the sugar to the milk, meaning once I add it to the egg yolks, I don't have to reheat as much as if I add the sugar to the egg yolks. Here we go. Get the milk, the boiling hot milk, pour it slowly into the egg yolks. Make sure you're stirring it continuously. If you don't, you will cook the eggs immediately. Here we go. I pour that straight back in the heat, in the saucepan, and I use a wooden spoon, and I stir it until it coats the back of the wooden spoon. That's all. Yeah? It should not take long due to the fact that we had the sugar in with the milk. This is it, no more. I will take that now slowly over here, and I will pour that straight into. So you can see the residue in the saucepan is actually cooked eggs. You don't, no point scraping it out here. Turn it off. What I'm going to do here now, I'm going to add to here the gelatin. The gelatin leaves are nicely soaked. I get rid of all the excess water. The heat of the actual custard will dissolve that gelatin nicely. All dissolved. This is why it is important that we use cold. Give it a bit of a stir here. You will find this vanilla mixture will have nice little black dots in it. That is because we are using proper vanilla, pure vanilla. And as I said, the heat of this custard should nicely melt all of the chocolate. The flavoring could also be raspberry puree, mango puree, I don't know, you may like mint. Anything you wish. Yeah? Use this one too. And what is very important here is that you allow this custard to cool down below 28 degrees before you're going to add the fresh whipped cream to it. Fresh whipped cream is held together by the butter fat. The butter fat in your fresh cream has a melting point of 28 degrees. In other words, if you're going to whip cream, pour it into the warm custard here. The warm custard would melt the butter fat and the whole thing would separate. Yeah? I'm going to put them over ice in a minute. Now, as you can see, this one here is a chocolate sauce anglaise. This one here is a vanilla sauce anglaise.